Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, actually, good evening to everyone who's watching this right now. Today is Monday, December 23rd. We're heading to Christmas very soon for all of us who are, for some of us, or majority of us who are celebrating Christmas. I wanted to say Merry Christmas to everyone. May you and your family feel the love that is coming from the reason why we're celebrating Christmas. And we do hope that your family are safe during, if you are ever traveling, to have a safe arrival and safe return. Today, Michael and I getting together, we wanted to talk about obviously, our topic always focusing on Mr. Ash Mufareh, so focusing on our family, on Pacifian, and a company, a great company as well. But today we wanted to focus on living purposefully. You know, every single day we wake up, we have a purpose. What do we want to do? And purpose sometimes is not just a goal, the vision, but I believe living a purposeful life is something that we do to create it, to have a better life. So, we're going to dive deep into that topic, but let's have Michael say hello to everyone and let this conversation started.
Hello, everyone. Trust everyone's having a fantastic day, fantastic evening, fantastic morning, whatever the case may be. Trust that you are doing well, right? And everyone is safe. Those of you that may be having health challenges, certain we're always praying for our entire family, right? And that's the full scope of everyone in over 200 countries. So we trust that you'll start to heal, speedily, and that all is well with yourself as well as your family.
Absolutely, Michael. Thank you for saying that. And is because this is the time where a lot of us are getting together, making goals, or talking with family. So we do hope that everyone's well. Michael, I believe that living a purposeful life is really a time for all of us to create our own rhythm, to write our own song that we are the only people that can sing it. And sometimes the songs that we sing in our life is really off key, or it is something that we continue to working on. So what is living a life purposefully to you, Michael?
Yeah. Well, I believe, you get out of life what you put into it, you know? And so it only makes sense to me that you want to live life purposefully, right? You want to have a purpose driven lifestyle, and so, that goes for everything that you do, right? All aspects of your life, the things that you do from a day to day standpoint, right? Because there's always the big picture of your entire life, your existence, right? But then that's also made up of daily routines, what you do on a week to week basis, month to month basis, yearly basis, etc. It's everything you do, all your activities, that you do. And so, I believe if people try to find purpose, right, in what they do, like why are you doing what you're doing? You know what I mean? Like what's the reason behind it? We all got involved in this great company on passive, for example. And why? Why did we do that? Why did we choose to be a part of this journey? And that goes for, like I said, that goes for everything that you do. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? Think about it right now. Why are you doing what you're doing? Like, why do you wake up in the morning? Why do you look forward to a new day? Why do you go to work? Why do you, associate yourself with the people you associate yourself with, right? And I think all of that should really combine into what your purpose really is, for living. You know what I mean? We're all in the land of the living. Why are we happy to be here? Why do we get up in the morning and some of us pray, etc., and we give thanks, to see another day? Because not everybody wakes up, right? So all these things come to mind, Julie. You know what I mean? So I really want to be the best version of myself, right? So every day I try to do better. They say when you know better, you do better. So every day I try to do better. I try to always, put my best foot forward in everything that I do. I come into on passive and I give it my all. You know what I mean? I tell it, on top of the mountains. I let everyone know, this is what I'm doing. This is why we're doing it. This is why we think you should be a part of it, etc. These are the rewards. All of that. Because at the end of the day, I think everyone is striving to have a fulfilled life, Julie. I don't think people want an empty life. You know what I mean? So that means as I do all that I do, when my time shall come and I pass, from this life, then I hope that, I'm left empty. You know what I mean? I was able to empty myself. I was able to give everything I possibly could to this life, whether that's with family, whether it's friends, whether it's business associates, different charitable things that you do, just everything, Julie, right? You want to be able to find purpose in what you do, because then I believe it's more fulfilling. I think people are more happier when they actually, are led by purpose, right? As opposed to just flying by the seat of your pants. You just get up today and, oh yeah, I got to go to work. Okay, but there's nothing more. There's no like real substance to it, right? And I think when you find that, people are just tend to be more happy, Julie, I believe.
Absolutely, Michael. And living a life purposefully, you got to really think about what make us most joyful, right? What make us happy. However, living that life purposeful is not all about us, it's about other people as well. And that comes, we always have to ask ourselves, living that life that we willing, have a willingly to actually sacrifice also, because a proverb used to say, what does it say? Life is about death and tax are both the forms of sacrifice, right? Right? Because life, we live our life, we're willing to sacrifice not only for us. When we are thinking just about ourselves, we don't have that purpose. It's just because of us, you know. But when we passed away, when we pass, what's out there for us, right? What's the name? What's the legacy that we have here? So in the past 6 years, we've been together with Mr. Mufareh. We always talk about doing something for other people. And doing for something for other people bring the joy inside of us. Are we sacrifice? Are we doing everything that we could for the people, for the peers? And so you said what you just said, Michael. When you come into on passive, you give it your all. Myself as well. When I came into on passive, understood on passive, I did. I give it my all. I go tell everybody. It's kind of like when people said, when you love something, you never stop talking about it. And that's what happened in the past 6 years as well. What brings us the most joy in life? What makes us feel the most alive? And to me, that's living purposefully. You know, it's very interesting when we wake up every morning and we ask ourselves, what is my purpose in life? And that's, it could be your purpose in life is to raise your children, to raise the best children that you want it to be. What are you going to do? Your job, if your purpose in life is go to work for someone, are we going to be the best of ourselves when we go work for some people? It could be anything. So, for me, Michael, is every single day you got to focus on what is your reason to be here, the why. You have to know the why in order for you to keep moving.
Absolutely, right? And in order to come up with the why, I think it starts with our mindset. It starts the way we think, right? You mentioned about, caring for other people, or want to do for other people, want to help other people. That's part of that purpose, right? We always talk about, uplifting humanity, right? So how can you do that if you don't have a purposeful life, right? You just can't, because then you're going to be very self-centered, right? You're going to be thinking about yourself. But a lot of sacrifices have been made over the past 6.5 years, right? From our CEO, himself, his family, right? To ourselves, our family, you know what I mean? And so on. A lot of sacrifice have been made. And why? right? The sacrifice has been made because we actually care about people and we want to see people succeed. And so we want to build the best possible business for everyone, right? And so therefore, you're going to make those sacrifices, Julie. You're going to put some things on hold, you know what I mean? Because you're trying to do everything you can to bring all of this to fruition, right? You mentioned about leaving a legacy. Why wouldn't you? Right? You know what I mean? If I'm no longer here, I want to make sure that my family's taken care of, right? And not just taken care of for a minute, but taken care of for generations to come, right? Why wouldn't you want to be able to put yourself in that position, right? Maybe you're trying to break a negative cycle. Maybe you grew up, whether it be a single family home or whether poverty is around you, or whatever the case may be. You're trying to make a positive change, right? So you want to make a positive difference for that next generation, right? So it all starts in our mind, the way we think, right? Are we a selfish individual or we're a selfless individual? You know what I mean? Right? It all comes down to choices. And so I think if we make the right choice, which is to always, again, going back to being the best version of yourself, because if you're doing that, it's automatic that you're going to help people, Julie. It's just automatic, right? It just becomes a part of who you are, right? When you start to train your mind to think a certain way, right? Always thinking positive, always being an optimist, always being a realist as well, though, because, we're not talking about pie in the sky ideas. We're talking about things that will actually make a positive difference in people's lives on a regular basis, on an ongoing basis, on a long term basis. Julie, no one wants to see, okay, look, I'm good for the next couple months and then that's it. No, right? We want things that's going to last, long term sustainability. Like that's what we're looking for, right? And that's what we're here for, right? Is to ensure that we put ourselves in the best possible position so that whether we get to enjoy it now, because we have some folks, no one knows what tomorrow brings, right? And so we have some folks who may have passed on, but they've left this legacy for their family, and their family will benefit, from that, right? That's what this is all about. So we want to be able to put things in place whereby, whether we get to enjoy it or we don't get to enjoy it, all that doesn't matter. The fact is, because we have a purposeful lifestyle, right? Everything that we do, there's meaning to it. Everything that we do is going to have an impact one way or the other, right? Positively, right? On other people, not just ourselves, right? Not even just our family for that matter. We always talk about a community, right? Being able to, extend the rewards outside of yourself, outside of your own family unit, right? And this is what we want. We have a global family, as I said, over 200 countries around the world. And so we want to see every single person be able to enjoy all that life has to offer, Julie, because there's a lot out there. Some folks have never, left their home, left their village, left their city, you know what I mean? Their province, their state, their country. You understand? And we know, the globe, it's a big place, right? I mean, 8 billion people on this planet, and that's a lot of countries. How many people have been to 200 countries around the world? How many people have been to 100 countries, 10 countries? You know what I mean? So the world's a big place. And so we want to make the most of it. So as we go through life and so we start to have that purpose driven lifestyle, you get to interact with so many people, right? You get to interact with like minded people. You get to interact with people that are trying to make a positive difference in this world, right? Not everybody's a taker. Not everybody's trying to take. A lot of people are willing to give. And so we want to put ourselves in a position so that we have the necessary resources around us, Julie, not just financial resources, but also people resource, because you need people in order to do things or make things happen. So if you put yourself in a position where you have the right people around you, right, and with the right mindset, then there's so much that we can accomplish together, right? And that's what I see that's been happening for the past 6.5 years. A lot has been happening simply because we've come together for a common cause, a common goal, right? The purpose to be able to uplift humanity, as we've already stated. And so many times we've stated that, Julie. But it's such a true statement, though, when you think about it. Like, it really is. Why would you not want to uplift humanity? Why would you not want to help your brother or your sister? Like, why wouldn't you? If you have the ability, if you have the resource, why wouldn't you? There's so much for all of us, right? And so we just have to take time to reflect, especially this time of year. People celebrate different holidays and what have you. But it's all anytime an opportunity presents itself for you to be able to reflect, right? For you to slow down, right? And take a look at where you've been, right? And start to think about where you want to go, right? Where you want to see yourself. This is how your purpose, gets built up, right? This is how it gets built up, and then things starts to transform as we move forward. So yeah, all of us should definitely want to have a purpose-driven lifestyle.
Absolutely, Michael. It's really when you're speaking, I was thinking back, the time that we have together in the past 6 years. I was having the opportunity, we all having the opportunity to actually seeing Mr. Mufareh. We don't get to see his wife, but we know through him, his family, Mr. Mufareh and his family can have a total freedom life where they go do the things that they love. They can go do and leave their own legacy by focusing on the charities work that they're doing. But what did he do? He sacrificed the fact that I can do this in a greater, in the grander scales by influence and being able to impact many people around the world. And that's what this great company was created for all of us to be part of it. Well, remember back then when he was saying, I wish I could have a millions Mother Teresa's around the world, and collectively we all going to make an impact in the world. And that is living a life full of purpose, right? And it's not just the walk in the park. It's not that. It's sacrifice. It's full of sacrifice. I mean, look at what happened in the past 6 years. We are going through challenges. We do going through joy of everyone's that's involved in, right? So living a purposeful life, really focusing on the values that we have, whether or not it's family, community, and focusing on the integrity that all of us have also. We do have to set up a meaningful goal and be present in what we're doing. We have been involved together in this great company. We all need to be present. Living that purposeful life requires that mindfulness of being present, staying in the moment and fully engage in whatever that we are doing. And for me, living purposeful life is a lot of fun, Michael. It's exciting. It makes life more exciting than, wake up every day and just go to work, go home, eat, go to sleep, and then to the next day it start again. It's so much more joyful in living with a purposeful life.
Okay, well, I mean, to me, you want each day to be interesting, Julie. You know what I mean? Imagine if you got up and all you do is just looking at at the four walls, and that's it every day, just staring at the wall, staring at the wall. Like, where's the excitement in that? You know what I mean? But all of a sudden, you pick up the phone and you call someone, or someone sends you a nice message and you respond to it. Like, you're able to interact with people, right? That's the beauty of being a human being, right? The interaction. No one wants to be isolated. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't, right? Things have changed so much, right? As technology, you know what I mean, have grown, expanded, been created, so that we can, basically connect the world in an instant, right? Like, think about that. You know what I mean? Somebody is in Japan, and somebody, is in somewhere in South America. You know what I mean? You just instantly connect with that person. Doesn't matter. The person's in Russia, and you're there in South Africa or something. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter where you are in the world. Today we can connect with each other in an instant, right? So isn't that more pleasant, more interesting, more fun, to be able to interact with other people as opposed to just you by yourself, right? Can you imagine if you get on the Zoom, Julie? You know what I mean? You get on this live that we're doing, and you know what I mean, and you're just you by yourself, right? You're just here, and you're just talking, as opposed to having a conversation,
Yeah.
right? You and I have this conversation on a weekly basis, and it's so much more. We do our live, and then we finish and we chat for another hour and a half. You know what I mean? And so we don't include all of that because we're not trying to make these lives so long for people. We want to kind of give them the meat and potato of our conversation, as opposed to, the fluff and, all the other stuff that we do and say, right? I kind of want to just give them the meat and to help them to see the bigger picture, help them to stay encouraged, to help them to realize that, yes, you made the right decision to be involved. This is part of your purpose. You know what I mean? Every single thing that you do has brought you to where you are right now, this very instant where you are right now in your life, everything that you've done. So the past, 3.5 years, 4.5, like whatever the case may be in your particular situation, right? For me, for the past 6.5 years, all of that has led us to where we are now, right? It's a sum of everything. And prior to that, all that I did prior to that, leads up to it. Right? It's like when we talk about success, Julie, and people think that success comes overnight, but it doesn't though. Right? It may have taken you 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden success seems like it comes overnight. You know what I mean? I love to talk about sports. And then when we look and we see these athletes, okay, all of a sudden this person, is the best hockey player like ever. Well, they didn't become the best hockey player ever overnight. You know what I mean? They probably started from they're like 2 years old, 4 years old, or whatever. You know what I mean? And a lot of training, a lot of practices, a lot of early mornings, and so on and so forth, right? Bumps and bruises and all these things, right? Maybe even being cut from teams and what have you, but they stayed with it consistent, you know what I mean? And then what happens? Now, okay, you're a Wayne Gretzky, you know what I mean? All right, or whomever that individual may be today, right? Your basketball, you're Michael Jordan or LeBron James or whomever, right? It didn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with businesses. When we look around and the Elon Musk, and the Jeff Bezos and, all these people, right? The Bill Gates and so on, the Oprah Winfrey's, all these people, they didn't just have success overnight. It's years of preparation and practice and, learning and all these things, trial and errors and being rejected. All of this happens. And then all of a sudden here comes success. And then sometimes when the success comes, Julie, it's like it just keeps on coming and coming and coming and it just doesn't go away, right? And it's like, wow, people say, oh, that person is so lucky. Like, that's usually what people say. But no, nothing to do with luck, right? I personally even believe in luck. You know what I mean? But again, people put the time and effort in, right, Julie, and they're willing to be persistent. They're willing to have that no matter what, I'm not giving up. Mr. Ash Mufareh, he's not do it or die, right? I mean, who says that? You know what I mean? When we live in a world where people walk away from stuff all the time, people quit all the time, right? That's the world that we live in. That's the reality, folks. People quit all the time, right? But guess what? Those people who quit, they never win. How can you win? Imagine you're playing a game, you know what I mean? And you quit on the game, right? I saw a clip earlier today, and it was a school in the US. And this team, they were down by 22 points with 7 minutes to go, Julie. 7 minutes to go. And they're down by 22 points. Did they quit? No. A lot of people just say, oh, the game's over, turn off the TV or whatever, walk out of the stadium. You know what I mean? They didn't quit. And at the very last buzzer, right? A freshman, this guy's in his first year. He shot the ball from half court and it went in at the buzzer. And they won. They were down by 22 points. You understand? There's 7 minutes left to go in the game. And they kept on going, right? That's us, Julie. You know what I mean? You may be down or think you're down or think nothing is happening and all of this stuff, right? But guess what? We continue to go. We continue to push. We continue to stay motivated, continue to encourage each other. Why? Because we believe that right down to the buzzer, we're going to win. Going to win. And so, you know what I mean? That just happened today, right? Well, I saw the video today. So it probably happened like over the weekend or something, right? But the point, though, is that the team never gave up, right? 22 points. That's a lot of points, folks. With only 7 minutes to go, there's only so many possessions you could have. But they kept on going, right? And end up winning the game. That's us. We're going to win. Whether it takes another 3 months, another 6 months, another year, we are going to win. That's what matters. You know what I mean? So we continue to press forward, Julie, right? And it all has to do with the way we think. Because if we are winners, we're going to think like winners, right? If we are losers, we're going to think like losers. That's just how that works. Exactly. Like you can't be a winner and think like someone who loses all the time. You
Yes.
can't be someone, who think like a loser and expect to win. It just doesn't work that way. Your mind and your reality, they go hand in hand. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And so that's why we always encourage people to be positive in life. Even though you look around and things are not the greatest, what I mean? Things may not be going the way you want it to go. Things may not look the way you want it to look, right? But because you are a winner, Julie, you will find the bright side of things. You know what I mean? You may have someone and that person's just nasty to you or whatever, and you just try to find a way to be able to cope with that individual. You find a way to say, okay, you know what? I may not believe all that you believe, but you know what? We can still find a way to get along. You know what I mean? It's just how you look at things. And when you have that positive mindset, good things happens to you. That's a reality. That is a real good things happen to you. And so this will be no different, Julie. Will not be any different. So we'll continue to press on and live that purpose driven lifestyle because that's what we ought to do and that's the right thing to do and that's what's going to lead us to our victory. Absolutely.
Absolutely, Michael. And we go through life. We don't go through it alone. Right? We
Mhm.
go through that with so many people. We got to surround ourselves with people that are, supportive of what we're doing. The people that have lied, God, I can't say this, minded people, right?
Mhm.
People that share that same values, that same aspirations that we have. And that's what we do. We do have that community that do that. We share the same purpose. We strengthen, we work together and we strengthen our sense of purpose. And that meaningful relationship that we are building here will bring us joy and help us to sustain, whatever that we are working on. Therefore, living with purpose isn't about being perfect. It isn't about being, perfections in the things that we do. It's about us creating, that values that we have, that value that's so meaningful to us. You know, it also requires a sacrifice. It's also require that authenticity that we do have. And so I love this topic, Michael. And it's just something that we get together and we talk to each other, we stir, the curiosity, or we stir the thinking of the people that are listening to this. And it's actually for us as well. Continue to build that life that we purposely being put here together. Therefore, we'll continue to work on ourselves every single day. And it's not just today, wake up and we decide to do this. It's something that we continue to work on and gather ourselves around with other people. And that's what we're here. It's exciting. New Year's coming up. And Michael, you and I will continue this conversation further as we keep going in this life journey.
Yes, because iron sharpen iron, Julie. That's how that works. If you have iron and you want to sharpen it, you take another piece of iron and you rub the two together, and both become more sharpened,
That's
right? And so that's what we do. Life becomes contagious, Julie. It becomes contagious. You know what I mean? And so we want to rub off on each other the good things. Absolutely. So yeah, look forward, to the next time we get together, because it's always great to be here with you. Absolutely, it is. Yes.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this every day. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Take care of yourself, whether or not you travel to one place to the other. Please stay safe and most of all, be patient and stay with love because love will keep you on the right place, right? So take
Absolutely.
care of yourself, everyone. Stay safe. God bless. Take care,
Bye
Mike.
now.
Bye bye now.